except I need headphones. Hey, I can hear you. I haven't figured out my headphones yet. You're coming through the speaker. How's it going? Are you streaming yet or okay. So how should I follow? Do you want me to, are you gonna share it to this Discord or should I be watching on the web? And I can just ignore, maybe I should open the chat though, right? So I can mod while you're streaming. It'd be nice. Yeah. Okay. And then which microphone? Shoot. Now can you hear me or did I just stop talking? Okay, so it's coming through the other microphone, which means I can either switch microphones or turn this one off. Ah. Right. Mm.
Well, I can make them hear you if it just comes through the desktop like this.
Oh, you can make them hear me that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. They can hear you
Okay.
now, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad they can hear me. So today's sand dollars, huh?
And butterflies.
And butterflies. What could
Just
be better?
stuff you sent me basically.
Magical creatures on stream.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they are. I mean, okay, so what living creatures aren't really magical, I guess.
That's a good question. Cockroaches?
Oh, they're pretty magical.
Are
I
they?
mean, in their own way.
I'm sure we could come up with something as a team.
It's not magical, that's alive.
I mean, life is magical, I guess if you take it that way, everything.
That's how I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
All right, let's see
Can I get
here.
some confirmation from someone in chat that they can hear you? I'm pretty sure they can because the little sound bar moves for me, so
Okay.
I can figure out if I need to make her louder or quieter.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice. I say hi to Broken Symmetry. Zero bot. That's a zero bot. Is it a bot? No.
No, it's a real
It's their
person.
bedtime.
Yeah.
It's a real person. Aw.
Well, I don't think the bot sleeps, so that's my guess. That's why I think it's probably a real person.
Bots never rest.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
They're busy all the time.
Pretty cool. Ah, you're catching the magical mosquitoes whilst watching. Very
Matt,
cool. So you can hear me, zero bot zero, hopefully. Or does it just sound like he's having a conversation with himself? It's like gaps in between. Hey,
Broken Symmetry, can you hear Pacific Plankton?
can you actually hear my voice?
You should be
Can
able
you hear
to.
me now?
My,
Hopefully.
my little bar is moving. It says she's here. Okay.
You can. Hooray. Wonderful.
Is
I'm
she
so
loud
glad.
enough?
Oh, well, it's great. I'm not always loud enough. I tend to be quiet.
I'll
Ah, what are we
turn you
looking
all the
at?
way up. They said very clear.
All right. Hey, Mars Killjoy. Welcome to the chat. What are we
We're
looking at?
currently looking at a sand dollar, and I was actually just a little bit ahead of you with respect to sand dollar anatomy diagrams. You
Mm-hmm.
can't see it because it's in the chat window, but I actually did put up a little diagram that somebody has of the sand dollar anatomy from. I have the inside, the outside, and then I have kind of like a something close up of the, I don't know, central area, I guess.
Yeah. The inside and the outside. Let's see. Was that? Oh, you posted the link in chat.
No, no, the image is just visible in the chat
Oh,
window.
oh, well, see, there we go. I'm not watching the right screen.
Yeah, it's okay. You already know
But,
it, so it's fine.
oh, I see. There we go. Look at that. That's like somebody's hand-drawn thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just stole it from the internet. You know, that's what they get
So
for
that's
putting their
a
pictures
different.
out there.
Yeah, so that's a different sand to the one we're looking at because the one we're looking at doesn't have those little voids, those little ovals, like um,
These
what are
ones, the
they?
lunules.
Yeah, the lunules. Those are not present on this particular um, species of sand dollar.
Not at all.
No, I know they're not there.
Okay. Oh, I have this one too, but
I
it's
mean,
also the wrong species, I guess. Do you know what
I think
species it is?
I'm pretty sure it's let me double check. I think it's eccentric. Let's see.
This one also has those.
Let's see. I keep having to put my glasses on and off to be able to type and read. It's really funny. I'm sorry.
They can't see.
I can't see. I'm blind as a bat today. It's awful.
But I mean, they can't see that you have your glasses on or off, so.
Oh, that's true. It's
Just
true.
pretend like you have them off all the time and you have perfect vision.
There we go.
I have my
I can do
glasses
that.
on, so they can imagine what it would be like if you have glasses by looking at my face and thinking of your voice. Subtracting the beard.
All right, eccentric sand dollar. There we go. Dendraster eccentricus is
Oh,
what we're looking at.
Den
Here,
Dendastrix? Send
here,
me a
I'll
link.
put it in chat. I'll put it in chat. I gotcha. Just
Oh, which
glasses.
you can tell which voice belongs to me um, if you watch when it's lighting up. Although Pack's always lit up for some reason, her thing is always, she's always on fire down. If you look at the little logo,
Yep, that's the way I roll.
yeah, mine's the little green guy. When I talk, it lights up around his face, and she's the blue. Uh, it looks like uh, 4am. It's a
All
4am?
right.
I think that's a 4am.
It is a foram. A little foraminiferen. The one I can't pronounce. There we go. There's our local sand dollar. We got them all over the
Oh.
beaches.
Mm, they have that image, like, so I can't steal it. But people can go look at the link, I guess. So
Yeah,
yours has the... I don't have a name for the bits, but it doesn't have the windows, but it still has these sort of structures that uh,
it's
radiate
correct.
from the center.
Correct. It
And
does not have the windows.
we're actually looking at a piece of this stuff with the sort of like oval shapes that are on here. Pretty sure that's what I put in there right
Yes.
now.
Yes. So look at the little tiny pieces of sand. Oh, hey, it would show a difference between the different materials. What's the name of the sensor on your SEM that switches between, right? The one that you usually don't use.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, I'm curious if it'll show a difference between what's stuck in the little nooks and the material of the sand dollar. What is that one? That's the elemental analyzer?
Yeah, it's called a backscatter detector. Not the, I
Backscatter.
don't think we want to use the elemental analyzer, but I'm pushing it in right now. So we're still looking at it through the secondary electron mode, but this is the backscatter mode.
Ooh,
So it got really bright.
did.
Um, and then that's because the aragonite that their skeleton is made out of is probably very low density. And then you can see a little bit of difference between them using that.
Yeah.
In here, the sand grains look pretty contrasty.
Oh, cool. Look at the little suture joins
Yeah,
where the pieces of the skeleton grow together.
yeah, they're pretty. They stand out pretty nicely in this mode.
Could you take
Um,
a picture?
could I take a picture?
Please?
What kind of question is that?
It's just a regular question. Happens every day. I'm like, wait, take a picture.
Uh,
Looks like 3D renders, no jokes.
you know I can take a picture.
I know. The question is, would you please?
Yeah, hang on.
Ah, thank you.
Let me zoom in like a crazy person and get it in focus.
One of those little holes.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, or a crack.
we're on a sand grain.
This is true.
That's fine though.
But look at there's holes in the sand dollar too. Everything in the ocean has holes.
Okay, you want this picture?
I would like this
You
picture.
want it in backscatter?
I do.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Let's slow the beam down. And
Oh, wow.
it's all right. This bright? You're all right with this like super bright look?
Because it looks like bone. It's very bright and it looks like bone. I think that, I mean, maybe it,
We'll take a picture. It'll be
I'll take a
fine.
picture. It'll be awesome. Thank you.
It's a good look.
It is. It is.
Hey, Disillusioned, how's it going? We're looking at the scanning electron microscope today, and I have a guest, which is Pacific Plankton.
Hi.
You can hear her talking.
I
And
know, right?
it's supposed to light up when she talks, but hers sort of name is always lit up. It just flickers off occasionally. And Pac sent me these really stinky sand dollar bits.
Oh, they weren't
Uh,
that stinky, were they?
well, the package was fine, but when I opened it to put it in the SEM, I was like, whew, not fragrant in a positive way.
No, no. I did send you cookies after, though, to make up for the stinky package.
The cookies are gone. Those have been
Yeah.
eaten. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't eat the sand dollar bits.
No. Stinky sand dollar. I opened up the little test tube and you had stuffed a piece of cotton in there with like I don't know, alcohol or something on it.
Yeah, a little.
And so I couldn't smell anything until I took the little alcohol thing out, and I was like, "Ooh, it's very ripe."
Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
and then I thought maybe I would have some trouble putting it on the SEM because the sputter coater did not like um, the moisture content whatsoever. It was way higher than it normally is, and I thought, oh, that's not going to work
Oh,
very well.
yeah.
So it's partly I put like three little pieces from the sand dollar in the SEM, and then I also have another piece here that's like gold coated and ready to go, which you can't see because I'm holding up to the little camera that you don't have a view of. But if we get through stuff and we're like we want to come back and look at this, this is the outside surface of the sand dollar, so I left that part.
Oh, did
Um,
you get any of the spines? Did you maybe just pull some of the spines off and stick them on a sticky stub?
there are some spines, incidentally, that are in around the mouthpiece. Um, I think so.
I hope.
Uh,
I
if
hope
if not, I can always open the instrument and stick this one piece in by itself. But I think it was the culprit. I think it was like hemorrhaging
yeah, there was like too much goo left on that one.
a little too much moisture. Um, but I didn't want to try to put it in with the other pieces. Plus, it wouldn't fit on the carousel because I have these other things in there, the butterfly moth wings.
Yeah.
And hey, Joe, how's it going? Let's see. So if you're not following Pacific Plankton, you should do that for sure. And also, so she's my guest here. And then in the channel with us just now, we had Joseph Radio Joe. He was here. There's a
Yeah,
link for them.
I gave him a shout out. I did.
Yeah, I've got a button though, so I wanted to push my button, you know.
You and your buttons.
Yeah, it's I feel like once I've made the button, pushing the button is like the fun part of making it. So, you know. I also forced my little robot to talk as though it's me,
Wow.
instead of saying stream elements. Now it looks like I did it, which is
Wow.
pretty funny to me.
That is pretty funny.
I'm part
I gotta,
robot. I become cyborg.
it's kind of crazy.
All right, so we got this. This is a sand dollar, and the picture is done. You like this picture?
I like that picture. I love those sutures. Look at those little holes.
It's a
I wonder,
you know how I feel about things with little holes. It's like what we do here, right? So
I know. Can we zoom in on one of those little holes?
yeah, yeah. Hang on, I'm just saving your picture. I've got
Thank you.
to. Are you at Super Good Labs, by the way?
I am. I'm in a super good place.
You're in your lab space.
I am.
Let's see. I want to. I guess I'll just make a separate folder for this.
We have to figure out how to do a dual stream with visuals from both of ours, and I can have like the light microscope version, and you can have the SEM version.
That's actually really easy to do. We could do that.
We could do that. We'll have to plan that.
Yeah, we just have to work around your schedule, that's all.
It's getting better. It's getting worse than it's getting better.
You were like, oh, I'm gonna stream so much, I've got this new lab space, and then we've seen you like, I don't know, twice since then,
I
maybe?
know.
For like a
I
half
know.
hour, and they were like tech streams, like, here's my broken stuff I'm trying to fix. So,
Yeah, but it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. I have to do a warning sign for the door so people know what's going on in here.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to, I put a thing in front of my little hallway that says streaming so people don't stick their faces in here, you know,
Yeah.
to keep them out. It's worked quite well, even in people who I might have wanted to let in. Do you want me to switch off of the backscatter mode?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Okay, hang on.
Let's let's see what it's go the
Well,
other way.
it just looks darker,
Ooh,
that's all. It doesn't have
it does look darker.
the super bright. And also I can pull out the secondary, the actual backscatter detector because I'm worried I might bump it if I start moving around too much. Although I
Yeah,
think I'm low enough, it's not a problem. All right,
yeah.
do you want to zoom in on the holes?
I do.
Like with the sand in them holes, like this one?
No, I think one of the other holes. I'm just curious, like
Oh, the little holes.
the little holes.
These little holes.
Yeah. Like, are they just little holes or is there more there?
Well, I mean, they appear to be little holes. I think they're just holes.
Hey, little Chook is here. Do you have a Chook button?
That's a good question. I haven't seen little Chook in so long, she doesn't have a button.
Oh no.
But, you know, we can always just type in Chook. Yeah, there.
I did. I
Yeah,
Chook.
you can
Hi,
Chook.
little Chook.
And also, creatively, Emma is here.
Oh, do you have a button for her?
No,
Okay.
I don't even have a thing for her. I'll just have to type her name like, you know, a
Okay.
caveman. You know
Well, it's
what's a good command to use that I have? In
and
Studio
Studio
Cornix.
Cornix.
A
Hey,
bunch of
Shelly.
our friends are here right now. I do have a
So
button for Studio though, so you know.
this is true.
What's a good command that you could use is this who command. So if people don't know who Creatively Emma is, for example, we can do that.
Oh, there we
She's
go.
a variety artist and she streams mainly her digital art. And she wants you to come hang out. There you go.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Newt, Newt.
Yeah, who gave us the Newt Newt?
That was Radio Joe.
Oh, nice.
All right. Look at the suture and the holes. Ah,
There. For some reason, I wasn't even following her. Now I am.
you fixed that though, right?
That's what I do. Yeah, I just fix things. It's fine.
And take pictures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a picture of a moth in the actual, it was for a second there. What are we looking at, creatively, Emma? We're looking at a sand dollar, like up close, like super up close, in a scanning electron microscope. This is the, what is that part called? With
The part.
the oval shaped part with the little structures on it. These are those structures. I think that's these little bigger holes are the, hang on, let me see if I can find my,
Petaloids? If you're looking at the petaloids,
is that what they're called?
I
Petaloids?
believe so. Ambulacral,
Let me look at,
ambulacra,
maybe, yeah,
those of
yeah,
respiratory podia.
yeah, maybe they're amberlacra. Here,
But they're
let's see.
part of the petaloids. They're part of the like petal-like structure that you see on the top of a sand dollar, right?
Hang on. Yes, 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 yes. So for people out there who are wondering, what are we talking about? This isn't the sand dollar that we're looking at, but this will give you some idea. So in the center of a sand dollar is something called a gonopore. or a tentacular pore, um, or it's a madreporite. I don't know which one of those things we're actually looking at, but I think the little madreporites are the tiny holes.
The
And
madreporite is in the center.
yeah, and then usually there's like a these petaloid structures that look like, petals that stick out from the center part on the outside of a sand dollar, and we're looking at a set of these from the middle part from the ambrolacrum. So these little holes that you see with the sutures between them, I think are um, the outside of the, or the inside. I'm not sure. One or the other. I think maybe it's the inside actually of the sand dollar. But that's structure.
There's all kinds of fun words.
Yes. So
Sand dollar anatomy is crazy.
yeah, that's so Pacific plankton is here in your
Hi.
ear, not physically but metaphysically here, and she sent me these materials from the beach from
Ah, look at that.
San Francisco. Yeah, this is where it broke. You can actually see, so like these little holes are part of that ambulacrum structure, and this is the outer part of the petaloid thing. And so this actually kind of lets us see into one of these, like a transect view, a crosscut.
Oh, so cool.
So the really bright spots are the top piece where it broke, and then these little holes. You can actually see what they, the path that they take through the structure of the sand
Uh,
dollar. Let
and
me
it's all
guess.
charged up.
Well, that's because it's pointed towards the sensor,
Got it.
and I can fix that by doing something like this. I think I can even it out a little bit. So, although it kind of looks nice, super bright like that,
Yeah.
I'll try to do something with the brightness contrast, or let the machine do it anyway. And then we'll see how it manages all of the bright and dark spaces.
Sand dollars, let's see. Digital seahorse, hello. Sand dollars have short hair-like tentacles on the bottom for moving around. So sand dollars are actually completely covered in both spines, and they have two different types of little appendages. They have tube feet, which are kind of like the little feet on sea stars, but they also have these other ones that are like little pinchers that they can use for passing things to their mouth and for making sure stuff doesn't stick to them. I'm trying to remember what the name is. They're very cool. You look it up.
Looks like maybe it worked pretty well.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
It's a
This is
little
just
dark
the
in here, but
yeah, $0. It's just this is just the a small piece of a skeleton because it's not alive. Diatom's attack doesn't look at the living stuff in the scanning electron microscope. He's on the dark side.
I usually wait for things to die before I put them in
Yeah.
the scanning electron microscope. I don't actually kill things usually.
No, no, that would
Diatoms
not be
sometimes, but
good. Sometimes.
they're clones. Nobody cares. The main reason you can't look at living things in the scanning electron microscope, Emma, is that it's in an intense vacuum. And if it started out living and I stuffed it in there, it'd probably die shortly thereafter. Also, these things have been coated with gold, like King Midas touched them, except for I used an instrument instead of magic. And and that usually kills things. If you cover them completely in gold, there was a James Bond villain that did that called Goldfinger, where he would like kill people by coating them in gold paint. If your skin can't breathe, right, it'll suffocate most organisms.
Right. I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try and adjust something here. I'm still watching while it draws the picture.
I'm trying to adjust something.
Oh, I have as of yet not been able to connect my headphones to
Oh,
where I'm stationed. So I need to try and do that. And I'm gonna do it while you're streaming. Ha.
I'm gonna make my stream into a tech stream for your stream.
It's all every stream's a tech stream, right? It's all about making it work and solving problems.
Definitely, there's a problem solving aspect to it.
It's kind of fun. All right.
I got the sound sorted out on my end. What's the
Well,
swirly
yeah,
thing along the line of the hole? Um,
kind of down on the like
this
that,
thing here?
probably.
I don't know. I think she means this thing right here.
Hey, Chris Jameson, welcome in.
Chris Jameson is here. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yes. First time chat from Chris Jameson. Hello.
Hey, Chris. How's it going? Do you know that I was watching Chris Jameson's stream last night? He
You
was
were?
doing a charity stream for music, and he had some like total reach goal, which was like if somebody donated $500, he would get his hair shaved with a mohawk, like live on stream. And his partner, I guess it is, um, uh, does some hairdressing, and or did, and he the like 5 minutes into his stream, somebody dumped $500 right into the channel, and he was like, he
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to happen, but then it happened, and then he had to get his mohawk basically cut right there on the stream. It was amazing, and it was a donation for I think it was military that can't get people who used to be in the military, like veterans that can't get jobs or something like that. I don't remember the exact cause, but feel free to talk about it if you'd like, Chris. Um, and then, yeah, he had no plan to actually go through with it, but then he had to get it this mohawk cut right on the screen, and my both my daughter and my wife were like coming in and out of the office, and they were like, "Are they gonna cut off all of his hair?" And I was like, "Yep."
Oh,
And
wow.
he was totally. I've never seen anybody so laid back about having to get their hair cut off. He was just like, "Yeah, go ahead," and it was pretty cool. Yeah, Veterans Hope. They set up homeless veterans with a place to stay and to work. So great cause, to get your hair cut for. And then everybody in the channel was like, "Why didn't you always have a mohawk? Because it looks good on you, you know."
Huh. Oh, I fixed it. You're coming through in my ears now. Okay.
You're coming through in my ears too.
Ha.
So just that's just a little bit. Chris is a musician, so he played some songs for everybody, and then
Oh, sweet.
you know,
It's Operation Veterans Hope, setting up homeless veterans with a place to stay and work. That is so cool.
yeah, super cool. And then it turns out the guy who donated the money was like somebody who didn't know them, but like didn't live very far away, like 20 minutes away from where he lived. So I don't know if there's going to be like he's also going to get a mohawk, and then we'll have matching mohawks or something. I'm not sure. So it's a
Wow.
pretty cool. It was a pretty cool stream to watch, and then also we get free music out of it. So, so Chris, we're looking at some stuff on the SEM here, and talking to us from outer space is from San Francisco is Pacific Plankton, who's another streamer,
That's
and
right. San Francisco, outer space,
yeah,
another
yeah.
dimension.
Well,
Except I'm in Oakland today. I'm not in San Francisco.
it
Imagine
goes
that.
it goes from Oakland to outer space, then it comes back um, to planet Earth. So technically both.
Sweet.
Although maybe it goes from Oakland to underground to to where I am. I don't know how it gets here actually. So yeah.
Wow.
All right. So we're looking at some sand dollars, and also she sent me some moth and butterfly wings, like I don't know, maybe a half a year ago.
That's
And
right. I was cleaning out the woodshed.
yeah, and
I was
then
restacking wood.
I streamed them on the stereoscope, but we never put them on the actual scanning electron microscope because they're
Mm.
pretty and they have lots of pretty colors. And it didn't make a lot of sense to put them in black and white uh, when we already had some, stuff that we'd looked at that was similar on the scanning electron microscope. So, anyhow, I get to did this thing. We'll give a shout out to Chris. There we go. I think I did that already, but you should definitely give Chris a follow. And Chris and Radio Joe did a co-stream together
Oh, no.
where they were doing Mountain Goat songs, and Joe would play a song, and then Chris would play a song, and then Joe would play a song, and Chris would play a song, back and forth. Um,
Gotta love the mountain goats. It's
yeah,
so cool.
yeah, it was anniversary for one of their albums. It's like the 20-year anniversary or something. So
Oh,
they were celebrating because they're both big Mountain Goats fans, and I'm also a Mountain Goats fan, so it was nice. All right, let's look around some more. I gotta save this image. Hang on. Just call it something.
it's like a cross-section view, right? A three-quarter cross-section.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So these things are, you can see these little, I don't know what these swirly things are, if you have any idea what those are, but there are actually a number of them. So there's one that we saw, and then I think there's another one over here.
Yeah. I know someone I can ask.
Oh,
I can
really?
ask Echinoblog. Echinoblog.
Oh, he's
The,
probably, yeah, yeah, he's probably
he would know.
good guy
He's
to
an
ask.
amazing resource.
Yeah.
Not a streamer, but if you have echinoderm questions, you should check him out he's on Twitter and, ooh,
Yeah, so these things, whatever they are, I guess maybe we should try to get some in the field of view. I'm not sure. Maybe they're a
they
different
might be
organism.
active. Yeah, they might be something that landed there or
Yeah, or
something that
infected it.
didn't, yeah, or didn't die and fall off, like a piece of like leftover tissue-ish stuff.
Yeah. And then these little holes have sand grains in them, or I think they're probably sand-sized. I guess we could measure
Yeah,
them. They're pretty small. Maybe they're actually silt-sized particles. But they've got
yeah.
little holes with it. Those are actually like detrital pieces that got stuck in there, probably after the organism died. Um, since most organisms probably would have some sort of organic thing covering
Hey,
those.
little gorilla. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, we can put some of these pictures on Twitter and ask Echinoblog, see if they know.
Yeah, he's always retweeting my diatom photos, so I feel like
I know, right?
he would probably see it, um, you know, if I put it up.
Yeah.
I think he would notice, and then we could ask him, hey, what are these things? He might not know, because maybe he's not used to looking at them like in SEM. You know,
It's true, that happens.
it's a possibility, because a lot of times when I look at sort of diatom stuff for the first time in the SEM, I'm confused by what I'm seeing. You know, it's a challenge to tell what you're looking at when you're used to looking at it differently. Anna's here.
Hey, Anna. Oh, you'll need to show it to M so he knows how his sand dollars look.
Yeah. Where does he have sand dollars
And
from, though, Anna? You guys live in the middle of no places where there should be seawater. Also, headshot specialist. Hello. Uh, Mustachio. The image from Mustachio is actually a set of diatoms that are overlapping, and then so it's like the background is a giant diatom, and then the little eyes are each diatoms, although one of them's just the girdle bands. But it actually is just a picture I took from the scanning electron microscope one of the first pictures I took of San Francisco Bay material, and I was like, oh, look at somebody's face, and we put a little mustache on it, and then, you know, it became an emote. So, let's see. I have sea sand on my bathroom's windowsill, closest I get to the beach. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you later, studio. Thanks for hanging out. And I'm sure that Studio Cornix is gonna stream soon. So
Oh, yeah?
um, I think it's
Nice.
usually like Monday nights. Um, so you should check in to give her a follow, and then when she streams, you'll be able to catch it. Let me put it that way.
We all like to hang out in her stream. She's fun.
I'm usually there because I'm the moderator, so I have to, you know,
Yeah,
fight off the evil bots and
yeah. Responsibilities.
shout out all of the people. You know, that's
It's a thing.
my main jobs in life are moderating for Pacific Plankton and moderating for Studio Cornix, and then occasionally I'm also a professor. So
And a scientist,
yeah. Sometimes I do research.
sometimes.
Occasionally I stream. You
How many papers this year?
in 2022, one
One. Okay.
so
Okay.
far, but
So far.
it just one so far. But I think there's just a number of them lined up. So um,
You had a bunch last year. You published a lot.
last year 10 papers, and the year before that 11
Wow.
papers, and the year before that 10 papers. So the last 3 years have been pretty productive for me. Um,
Wow.
Normally, I'm more like a, I don't know, six or so papers a year kind of a person. But but you know, uh,
Mhm.
COVID's made my colleagues and coworkers a lot more productive, and then I publish stuff with them. So
Got it.
um, tomorrow we're meeting to discuss writing a proposal that needs to be submitted like end of the month or something. So, um, so also I'll be pretty busy working on that tomorrow, and then I've got, like I said, there's a bunch of papers lined up. I have one that's submitted that we're describing new species from Africa, and a paper that's mostly put together that Laura is working on. Um, it's probably like 85% of the way there, and then I've got a paper that's from June Lake, and then some papers that Mike and I have been working on that are almost ready to be published. So there's lots of good stuff on the way, you know, um, and hopefully I can have some more sort of interview streams. When I was last night, I was doing a little bit of just showcasing the rain and the lightning, and there were a lot of requests from people that I read them scary stories, or read them some sort of story,
Aw.
or read them like just read and help them interpret some science papers. And I thought, oh, I've sort of always wanted to do that, where I just talk my way through a paper with people so they could understand it a little bit better. Um, Not just my papers, but like I do that when I interview with my guests sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I haven't had guests I haven't had like a interview stream for quite a while, and I've been talking to my friend Ryan about doing it, and she kept telling me, oh, as soon as I finish with my PhD, I'll come do a stream with you, and you can do an interview with me. She's really cool research, so I'm pretty excited about it. And she was a master's student here in our program, and now she's got a job, so as a professor. So, but she
Ooh.
moved all the way through her PhD, and now uh, went all the way through her postdoc, and then got a job. And she keeps telling me, "Oh, whenever I get like a break, we'll we'll do an interview." But like, she never gets a break. So
Yeah.
uh,
Can we move to another stub?
Yeah,
Or
let's move to a new stub. We'll move to stub 5. And this is
ooh.
actually, I told you I've had some
Yes,
spines.
yes, yes.
So there's some spines that were sort of stuck to this thing. And I think this is actually the little, I don't know, jaw part? Is this the jaw?
Yes. Yeah, well, so
Tooth?
this is here's yeah. Well, so the mouth structure in sea urchins is called Aristotle's lantern. And this is the Aristotle's lantern structure of a sand dollar. They have a symmetry in these little kind of they look like people call them doves or angels inside of sand dollars. And
Oh.
this one's a little bit broken,
It's
but
because
it's
I had to
it's
push it onto the tape.
yeah, yeah. But it's analogous to the Aristotle's lantern structure. And so, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
So it is symmetrical, and
hmm.
let me see. This is as far out as I can zoom without lowering the stage, but do you want me to lower the stage so they can see the whole thing?
I don't know.
It's easy. I can do that.
I just kind of okay. You can. It's easy to lower it down. It's
But you can
harder to
see all
bring
the
it back up.
things are vibrating a little bit. Oh, you can't see them, but
A little bit of shaking going on, huh?
it's because they're all loose on the tape is really what the problem
Ah,
is. Hopefully nothing
ah,
falls off.
yeah.
Now you can kind of
So
see why
sand and what? Yeah,
the shape of it, right?
yeah. So they, um, yes. So there won't be any tissue on this because it's from a dead specimen that's been mostly cleaned. So there shouldn't be, in theory, any live tissue. There might be some remnant bits. Right? Let's see. And Zerobot. The um the it is like a tooth structure. It's kind of like maybe a chunk of jaw that the tooth is on. They eat the stuff that lives on sand and bits of plankton that they catch from the water, which is kind of wild. Um, and a headshot specialist. There are pieces of sand on here, and then those funny little tube-like structures with grooves on them. Those are the spines, the tiny little sand dollar spines.
We'll zoom in on some of those. First, I just wanted to try to get a
Oh.
picture, an overview picture of the.
I'm gonna like rotate it like what, 35 degrees so that it's on an angle, like it fits in the corner.
Um, well, I can also, I think I can lower it a little farther. Hopefully, none of the other things will vibrate off of the stage when I do that. But let's see. Let's try. Uh,
I'm just gonna mute myself for 1 second here. Hold on.
could almost get it down. Let's see. An anonymous cheerer cheered for 1 bit. Thank you for the 1 bit, anonymous person. How many evil bots have I banned as a mod? It's probably quite high, but I don't think I've ever counted it. Yes, yes, they just want other people to be famous, so um, maybe I shouldn't be characterizing that as evil.
All right. I'm back. Mischief managed.
There was mischief.
There was mischief. There's almost always mischief.
Oh,
So my space is not a solo space, and sometimes people come and go and they're talking, and I just need to make sure they understand that we can hear them.
You had to go yell at some people.
No, no, I was just saying hello and this is live.
Just hello and shut your cakey holes.
No, no. I I usually ask people if they want to join in. I just want them to know that they're going to be, be heard by more than just me. If they burp and fart on stream, it's up to them, but I figure I should at least give them the choice.
I guess so. Well, this is what we have for the, uh, as far as I want to try to push it downward. So hopefully this is okay.
It's beautiful. Oh my God.
And it's going to redraw it here. But I think when I was rotating this stage down, I knocked some of the spines off of it. They're now down on the tape.
Uh-oh.
It's
That's okay.
it's
They're on the
fine.
tape.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
So cool.
okay, I think that'll look good. We'll just take that picture. It, it looks like it's, it's maybe a little underexposed, but I can fix that in Photoshop. It's the overexposed you can't really fix.
That's right. If
Underexposed,
the data's not there,
yeah,
you can't do anything with it.
exactly. Can't I can't make data appear, but if it's just dark, I can fix it. So it's so nice to have little Chook around. I haven't seen little Chook in a stream in so long, other than just like, you know, the ABA streams. All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
I'm gonna
Uh,
draw this picture.
Imagine
All right.
chewing this thing like filing your teeth. Yeah. Well, it probably wouldn't
It,
taste very good as a cookie.
but but the thing is, this is the teeth of the other This is the teeth of the sand dollar. This is the mouth and jaw part. This is the part that does the chewing of the sand
Yeah.
that they enjoy. I mean, that's how they get their food.
They eat
Um,
sand.
they eat the stuff that lives on sand. So they munch around the sand grains. And sometimes they catch plankton out of the water with their little tube feet.
Catch them out of the water?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a neat sand dollar. It's really kind of cool. So these are the pluteus we see. We see the pluteus. When they're babies, they have bilateral symmetry. And then as adults, they have radial symmetry. So it's kind of wild. But then when they start out like earlier on, like the whole egg embryo piece, right? They start out with the radial symmetry, then they go bilateral, and then they go back to radial. Like, wow.
Seahorse, you like my little bubble? The bubble that I'm in? The bubble is impressive in that I can shake it like this. And you can do that too, I suppose. And then we can change the colors however we like. And Google says that they live 6 to 10 years.
They can.
Yeah. The bubble also bounces, by the way. Let's see.
Do you have your bounce enabled?
I don't think people can bounce me, but I can bounce me. This bounce.
Self-bouncing?
Yeah,
Self-bouncing.
yeah. We can go for a bounce if you want.
Let's
We
do it.
just bounce around.
Nice. There you
And
go.
exactly.
We're going for a bounce. That's right, little Choot. Look at that. Whee!
Oh no, all of my
Bounce
stuff
with
is gonna
you.
fall to the ceiling.
That's all right. We can pick it up.
Yes, I'm a Windows screensaver right now. Oh, something's happened. Somebody shaked us while we were bouncing.
Ah, shake me up.
You can't stop the bounce. You could shake me, but you can't stop the bounce. There. Now we're back to normal.
Are we
And
really though?
and well, I am. The picture's done now. and you were busy watching me bounce, and you didn't even notice, you know, not
How
you, but like
cute.
them. What should I call this? A dove?
No, it's the tooth,
Sand
teeth,
dollar
jaw. You
tooth.
could call it Aristotle's lantern.
I'm gonna call it sand dollar tooth.
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 Aw,
And then we can zoom in on it. We can do some zooming.
yeah.
Where do you want to look?
Oh, everywhere. Where do we start? It's a good
Well,
question.
let's see. Let's start by me moving the stage back up, and hopefully nothing
Okay.
falls off when I do it.
Carefully hold your finger on the stop button.
I'm all over it.
All right, that's important.
All the butterfly wings rotate when I move it up.
It's flopping.
Yeah, they spin a little bit because they're not completely stuck. All right, we've zoomed in. These are the spines that are from the outside of the organism that somehow got stuck
So
on.
if there's any spines that are whole, it'd be cool to get a picture of one of those.
There's some over here that are laying like this one. I don't know if that's whole, but that's as good as we have right there.
Yeah, what about there's one up a little on
Like
the...
this. And then this is just like a
Oh, that
little.
one. Yeah, that's a little one. That's a little club-shaped one. So they have different shaped spines um, between the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Some are more pointy and some are more club-shaped. Oh, look at that.
And it's already at like 45 degrees, so,
I know.
you know, can do our thing.
Yes, please.
Actually, they're kind of interesting because they have these pillars and then they have little holes in them.
Yeah, so they're crystals. I mean, they're like the
Mm-hmm.
crystalline structure.
Mm-hmm. The echinoderms have really interesting. So as fossil particles, they're pretty interesting. So people often forget that I'm also a paleontologist, and we find echinoderm fragments quite frequently from beaches and things, right? If you actually look at some beaches, you'll often find little, either, you know, urchin spines or sand dollar spines mixed in with the sand particles from beaches. And um, when you see them in the uh, thin sections, when they've been cut in thin sections, the microcrystalline versions of them are all one crystal. They're really interesting. Or rather, they're all at the same crystallographic orientation. So the spine will go extinct and come back from extinction. So just the whole thing goes dark and then flashes whenever you rotate the stage. So they're pretty interesting. And oftentimes in geological samples, the cements will grow basically using existing, because they have these really microcrystalline sort of fabric. Calcite cements will grow basically building off of echinoderm spines, and um, and so the cement will also have syntaxial orientation, so that the whole thing, even the cement, will go out of focus at the same time. It's really kind of interesting.
Ooh,
Okay,
I like that.
let's take a look at this. We'll slow the beam down. I'm trying to figure out where the beam is, actually. Oh, it's down here at the bottom. Okay, it's going to the top. I just want to see, I want to make sure that the focus is good up
Mhm.
on the spine. It should be because I zoomed in, but
Yeah, you were moving up and down though, not.
that was just the focus knob, though. It'll be fine.
Mm.
Should be good. Speed's good. All's good. So we'll take a picture of a spine. Tooth. Hey, Fall Machine, how's it going? Um,
We're basically aliens.
all right, you're
We're
off
the
to bed.
aliens.
Okay, we'll see you next time, Zero Bot Zero. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. The rest of the cookie is it's in a container over there on the table, as far away from me as I could move it because it smells bad. So
Oh, bad.
yeah. Well, once I put them back inside the little centrifuge tube, things got better. But I still have this piece of one that's next to me over here, and even just this little
Mm,
tiny bit, it's the size of an SEM stub, still smells really bad. So
it's putrid.
they've got some decay going on, and
That's a nice way to put it. Some decay going on.
it's it's making smells. So
Yeah. Well, you know you don't have COVID then. All's good, right?
uh, yes, I've never lost my smell, my sense of smell. So I don't know if that means I never got COVID, but I've never tested positive for it yet. So I've somehow managed to avoid it, despite teaching in-person classes basically straight through the worst of it.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah. Essential worker.
oh yeah, but I'm not an educator apparently.
Well, no, no, that would be asking too much,
They've clearly been sitting in
right?
on my classes and they see what my students are up to. They're like, he's
Well,
pretending to
that's
be an educator, but they have to be listening if that's actually the case.
no. That's up to them to know how to be students, though, right?
I mean, there's like a little tiny spine down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the little tiny one down there.
Just that little tiny bit.
Yeah, micro
They
spine.
gotta,
Micro
they gotta,
spine.
they start small and they get bigger.
I don't.
Even this one's a small spine.
Is that the way it works? Oh, you mean that like from the edge to the middle or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they grow like crystals, right? I don't know. I have to look that up.
Probably once they're a size, they stay that size. That would be my guess. They probably come in at a size and then maybe they lose them and then they just grow new ones. Do I add professional streamer to my CV? No. Uh, Occasionally, I talk in proposals about the fact that some of my scientific information can be disseminated through social media platforms like Twitch and Twitter. And I sometimes tell them that I have followers and that I usually have an audience of, I don't know, 30 people or something. I don't usually pay attention to how big the audience is, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not about the audience size. It's about the fun streaming, cool stuff.
Well, they probably care about how many people are watching them.
Hmm.
You know, if I'm just streaming my cool stuff to myself, it's fun for me, but probably not very good outreach. So, all right, we got a spine. We
Sweet.
got an overview of a tooth, and
All right.
now what?
Let's see. How about the middle of the tooth? The T is the tooth, right? Let's see, T.
We're in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's the tooth surface. I'm trying to hmm,
This is a spine. That's a spine. This is the tooth surface right here.
I think so. So it's highly flattened. It's squashed. So if you were looking at a sea urchin, most people are familiar with sea urchins because they're kind of those like little spiky balls.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is the underside and not the top side. It's interesting seeing it so close. It really changes how you think about it.
Always.
Um, Always, it's amazing. Um, so in a sea urchin, their structure, it's like this. The lantern structure is taller, and this one's like the same structure, but it's just like somebody like pancaked it flat.
Yeah.
And while the sea urchin teeth are more pointy in the center, these are more flat for like the grinding, chewing and stuff. Hey, Shadowfax. It's not about the audience size, it's about the number of followers. Well then, Diatoms is definitely kicking my butt there. Let's see.
Am I?
I think so.
Wasn't my intention.
You know, no, but you get all the follows. Big follows for you.
Yeah, I probably just clicked on a robot or something.
You know,
That's probably
maybe.
how I did it. I probably bought most of them.
No, you're genre crossing because you do the birds and the lightning and the microscope and then the interviews. So between, there's just so much there.
I suppose
What
that's
is,
true. I'm gonna take this picture because I think it looks good.
okay, it does look good.
Somebody did a bang-up job with that one.
I know, right? Who do we send the thank you card to? You're a real viewer.
I'm a real viewer with real human meat?
Meat fingers,
Fingers. Oh,
typing
okay,
real
okay.
words. Yeah, were they going to mute meat computer and meat fingers, right?
I
Although you
mean,
don't have to have meat fingers to type. You can do
it,
the voice to text thing.
it was just a bad place to break the sentence up because I was like, with real human meat? Oh, fingers. Meat fingers. Got it. So for a minute,
Yeah.
I thought maybe you had, like, something in the freezer you wanted to tell the FBI about, you know?
No digital seahorse. All right.
The real human person calls themselves digital seahorse, though.
Yeah, they can. Ooh, on the link to visual here for morphology of sea urchin skeletons. Let me chat. So the sand dollars and their relatives is the central one on that. And I'll give you some nice pictures.
Are these San Francisco sand dollars?
Probably not, but it's
Oh, it doesn't have
it's
at least it doesn't have the holes.
no, it doesn't have the holes on this one.
Apical disc.
Yeah.
Petal.
Pedal pore, gonopore, ocular pore, madreporite plate, like a sieve plate. Such cool stuff. I like this website. So far anyway. I have to like poke around in a little more.
It's the Natural
At the
History
bottom,
Museum of the British Natural History Museum.
ACUK. Yeah. Lantern. It's got a lantern picture. If you click on the link to lanterns, you can see how these little kind of angel bits fit together.
A link to lanterns.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, I
Let me
see it.
put that in. Yeah, but I'll share it so other people don't have to hunt. Here we go. There we go. So we're looking at one of the lantern pieces. From a different sand dollar, granted, but, structure's pretty close. It's a sand dollar.
Let's see if I can make it show up.
There we go. Making it show up.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
we're taking a
we're
picture sort of where the
looking-
T is, right?
I believe so. That's my best guess.
The T points to where
Being
we
down
are.
on it. T points to our location.
Yeah, from the top view version, let's see. There.
Yeah, you can see how the little kind of dove shapes fit together.
There you go.
There. So that's my. So I sent you one of the little triangular wedges. The T is the center,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it kind of wedges out. A little lantern structure. Shadowfax, you're also a human. Hooray. Sand dollars. T position. So the T is for tooth. T stands for tooth in that image that we were just looking at,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I believe it's that raised ridge bit.
We're in this sort of middle part. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. So did you eat lunch today?
Yes.
Hooray.
For once. I managed to
I
get a
have not.
lunch in. Are you gonna pass
I,
out?
I promise I won't pass out. No fainting on stream. It's only 1 o'clock. When you're done, I've got food I'm gonna sit and eat.
No one will see it if it happens. We'll just there'll be like a thump, and then we won't hear any more from you for a while. And I'll be like, I guess we're gonna look at butterflies for a bit.
It's all right.
Let's just get this in focus with this thing.
Oh, banana would be nice on digital seahorse. Ooh, the bottom, that's where the spine connects. And it's probably one of the longer, thinner ones. My guess is one from the bottom or the top. See, now I can't remember. Shoot. One side of the sand dollar has more club-shaped spines, and the other side, shadow effects. Thank you for the bananas. That's potassium. Good for me. So one side has these little club-shaped spines, and the other side has these more pointy spines.
These ones look pointy.
It does look pointy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think you had some of each, like some of the top spines and bottom spines in there. Let's see. Petals. 2 feet. Huh. No, I'm not seeing lots of anatomy stuff, but nothing about the spines. Interesting. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, so cool.
Slowly drawing us a pretty cool picture.
It is. Okay, seahorse. Be right back.
Yeah, so I went to the pie company, and I have some cherry pie here as well. But I haven't
You
eaten it
have
yet.
pie?
It's just sitting here. Cherry
Oh
pie.
my goodness. Cherry pie. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it all, so I mean I couldn't even start on the pie. I just had the pot pie and then a little salad, and then it was like, yeah, I'll save the pie for later. It's looking good though.
It is.
Another bang up job by whoever's taking these pictures.
No, right?
It's almost like they spent hours looking at the SEM and know how to use it.
So I hear it's not that hard.
I heard you were potentially going to come back out and try to use it again.
I am. I need to plan. I need to plan when it will work out.
Well, I don't think it's going to
So
happen during my spring break because that's right now.
no, no, it's not going to happen during spring break.
Yeah. I was
It's
also
going to
supposed to
have
meet
to.
with Hannah, and she was going to come visit during spring break, but I haven't heard from her in a really long time. So,
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Derp, do you have a derp button?
I mean, I just got the, you know, this thing. Just no buttons
Awesome.
for derp
No buttons. Ah, okay. I'll keep asking.
yet. What is that face that's making, little Juke?
It's the cherry pie face.
Artsy
That was the munch,
fartsy
munch, munch.
face.
That was after the pie comment. I think little Chook likes cherry pie.
I mean, it's pie. Who doesn't like pie? Well, that's not.
I know.
I don't think Estrella likes pie,
Some
but
people.
she told me she pie is her. It's a cherry pie face.
I thought it was. There's pie. Yes, Dr. Derp. Diatom's attack has pie nearby. There is pie nearby, and he's not eating it.
Sitting there.
I know.
This is underside of a spine.
Yeah.
Spine
Like an
base.
attachment plate thing.
Attachment something.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds sciencey. Hey, broken symmetry. So,
Do we
yeah.
move around?
We do. We could go to another stub. I mean, you've got more stubs, right? I mean, this is just two out of how many you have loaded?
6. But the other 3 are past this one, so this is the last sea urchin piece right here.
Oh, I want to see that. Wait.
This one is the last. This one is the last sea urchin piece right here.
Okay,
And
good.
then
Let's
I
look at
have the
this.
one that's over here next to me on the stinky one that's on the counter next to me
This
here.
the stinky one. We should do the butterflies before we go stinky.
That was my plan.
That's a good plan. I like your plan.
It's looking very much like the starfish surface, but
It does, doesn't it? Except this is the starfish surface we were looking at were the plates on the surface of the starfish that had recently been alive. This here is the skeletal structure that would have been under the skin or the tissue of the sand dollar.
you know, I think this is the outer surface. The
Mm,
underside has like a lot of spines, and the outer
yeah.
surface is more like sort of smooth. So,
So you said it's easy to like show, um, it's easy to share video. How easy is it?
we would just have to set up something in Discord probably.
Okay, so like if I found this kind of view on the sand dollar I have here and was able to share it in Discord, you could in theory share it.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe? All right, well, let's see. I'm gonna try maybe then, and we'll see if I can maybe do it.
You can play around with that, and I'll play around with taking this picture.
I love it. I love it when we get to play around. It is so
Um,
much fun.
yes, headshot. Everything here is aragonitic. Um, Sand dollars make their skeleton out of calcium carbonate. I think usually,
Aragonite.
I think usually it's aragonitic. Um, I think that the most organisms
So,
today make aragonite skeletons rather than
so,
calcite.
so for our viewers, what's the difference between aragonite and calcite?
Um, just the crystal structure is different. They have the same chemical composition. So when I say they're both calcium carbonate, that tells you CaCO3 is the chemical equation that describes it, but it doesn't tell you the arrangement of the actual molecules within that. And aragonite is like, um, I think it's like a little bit more low density version. Um, and so the structure is a little bit different of the actual arrangement of molecules, but it's got the same molecular composition. So, um, the structural composition of a diamond is just carbon, and the structural composition or the chemical composition of like graphite is just carbon, but they have different structural, arrangements, right? And you get very different things as a result. One's in sheets, and the other one's in these sort of really, tightly coupled, closely bound material. So you can have different elemental composition, or you can have the same composition with have different elemental arrangement. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does. So it's like the difference between like a pencil and a diamond.
Well, not quite, but yes.
But kind of, no.
I mean, they're not that different. But yes, it's chemical composition for a diamond and graphite are identical. Um, it's just carbon. But like I said, the crystal arrangements are different. So.
Right, I'm trying to brighten up my image a little bit here, and I'm almost, I think, let's see. Okay, I think.
I think I can make that. See if I can show it to you, in case it wasn't clear. Let's see. If I do this,
Ooh,
there.
that's just wild and crazy there.
I just have it on top of this diatom image, that's all.
Nice.
Or on top of the sand dollar image. But you can see...
Aragonite's on the aragonite.
Yes, I put aragonite on the aragonite. But you can see that the crystal structure between them is slightly different, and the shape of the, as a single crystal, they would have a different shape. But the chemical composition is still CaCO3. So.
It's definitely, the aragonite's definitely more regular.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's the name of that crystal shape, right? I know they all have names for each of the different
Oh boy.
structures.
I don't remember the names of those crystal shapes. We need
There were like 6 of them, right? I'm like trying to remember
there's way
from
more
when
than
I was...
6.
No, but like the basic at the Academy of Sciences, I used to give tours, and they had in their gem and mineral hall, they had these like 6 or 7 crystal shapes hanging from the ceiling down the center. So as you walked along and you were looking at the different gems and minerals in the cases, and there was an icon on the card that would match one of the structures hanging from the ceiling, so you could see it in 3 dimensions. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of crystal shapes, though. It's way more than 6.
Well, yeah. But.
And I don't remember the names of all of them. So, and it's been 30 years since I had mineralogy, so.
Really? Only?
Yeah. Only. It's been a while since I was a college student. In undergrad especially.
Yeah. I think I took that class 27 years ago. So
Mineralogy?
Yeah, not a full mineralogy class, but it was like one of those like whirlwind, need to give you a really basic foundation so that you don't sound completely incompetent when you're talking to people about this material.
Ah, okay.
It's an overview class,
Okay.
but it was good. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Have you figured out how to send me something to put into the channel
I
potentially?
think it's in Discord now. Can you see in Discord?
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can pop the window out.
I was just playing with the camera, trying to, because it's not, let's see, the lighting's not optimal, but I don't have, it's like an old halogen lamp, and I want an LED lamp so I can really play around with the focus more. Zoom in a little bit. It's going to pretend to be an SEM.
It doesn't like that.
How close? No. Yeah, it's too much. Too much stuff. I could probably do it into Zoom.
Oh no,
How many different things can we get running?
it's more about this particular computer actually, more than anything else,
Ah,
because it's running an old version of Windows, and the driver uh, for OBS doesn't like to communicate like, as it does at home, basically. So it's a lot easier for me to capture images on that one. But
ah.
if I have a little bit of time, I can probably figure it out. So
Well, maybe next time. I have to find something else to send you. What else do you want to see? Treats from the Pacific.
let's see. Did you notice I've been asking questions since we had that conversation about students asking questions? Well, yeah, it's good. See, it's not hard to ask questions, and nobody, that's our job, is answering questions. Nobody's bothered by that at all.
It's also a whole method of learning, right?
Yeah, yeah. The Socratic method,
Indeed.
where you ask a question and then I ask you a question in response.
You help, you encourage discovery through the asking of questions.
I want to answer questions by asking questions, so that you're forced to ask more questions.
There, I turned off my camera.
You did what?
I turned off the camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it, but I bet I could do it at home easily. They had this problem with Zoom as well, because it's like which window it's trying to capture, and then it's like which microphone it's trying to capture. But
They get confused.
yeah, this poor computer can't handle all that complexity.
Too much stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. What is there anything else here that we can?
I
Should
don't
we go
know.
look at butterfly wings for a bit?
I think we're heading towards butterfly wings, but
Okay.
if we see anything on the edge as we're moving, can we like move slowly towards the edge?
I can try.
Take me gently to the edge and we'll see what we see. You never know. It's just such a beautiful structure. It's really subtle.
Yeah, the sizes of the holes and that sort of thing change. Well, this is
Yeah.
the edge. I don't know if that we're on the edge. I don't know if you feel any differently about it.
Well, I don't know. Is that a suture that goes right to the edge there? Let's see.
This thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Or is that just a crack?
I don't see any sutures.
Okay.
I
It's
guess,
just a crack.
yeah. I mean, I guess there might be plates that are there. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They grow and they have these plates, but
All right, let's look at butterflies for a little bit.
let's go.
Butterfly wings, just the wings. I didn't put any other part of a butterfly on.
I don't know if I
Um,
sent you any other parts.
yeah, I don't think you did actually. Well, some of them, I do have some that are like complete moths. Like
Ah,
you did send me like some whole moths. But this, I thought, oh, we've looked at butterfly stuff before on the SEM, but
mm-hmm.
I was talking with Balint from Science Streams, and he had a caterpillar on his microscope because he's doing microscope streams on, I think it's Mondays or
Oh, nice.
Sundays or something now.
Mm-hmm.
And and then he was showing it, and I was like, oh, we've had these on, the SEM before, where we've looked at, you know, all sorts of scales of moths and butterflies and whatever. And I said, oh, we could do that again. And then I realized I had this stack of things that you'd sent me that we'd never put on the SEM. So I thought, oh, this will be a good excuse for me to, like,
Some on.
yeah, put some of that stuff on. So traditionally, when we look at the butterfly wings, they have these sort of patterns. So all of the hairs and scales on the wings and hairs on the legs and basically anywhere you see something fuzzy or even remotely fuzzy on a butterfly or a moth, it's actually a scale. So if I zoom out, I'm going the wrong direction. If I zoom out, you can sort of see there's these flat, platy versions of sort of scales, and then these long, skinny ones um, that are all over the place on the screen. And um, if we were to find like the hairs on the legs of a moth, we'd find that the scales are actually like these. They just are long, skinny scales. And the wide ones are usually on the wings, and the skinny ones are usually anywhere that it looks like a moth or a butterfly is like furry. They're actually these scales, and they have the same structure. So like if we go look at them, which we will, like up super close, what you'll see is that they have basically the same structure, whether it's a hair or a scale or whatever. So let's see.
Yes, headshot specialist. It's probably a butterfly wing. So there's butterfly wings and there are um, some moth wings. Did you differentiate between the
This one,
varieties?
this one comes from, uh, well, I don't know them because I don't know the
Huh,
butterflies or moths, but I think this is a moth wing.
I believe so,
It's a,
yeah.
I don't know if you can see
Oh, yeah, I
what I'm
can.
showing on to Twitch. Hang on, I need to see what they're seeing.
Yeah. Has like a little fake eye on the end. I remember I looked them all up once upon a time, and I don't remember what I did with the.
Yeah. So, yes. This is the wing that we're looking at right now. We're just looking at a piece of it. And so it's a, you know,
So most likely it is. Hold on, let's see. 10 types of moths. It's one of these. And it's showing me what it is, but it's not giving me the, come on, visit, P-base. Here we go. Ceanothus silk moth
silk moth, yeah.
yeah.
So you can see the outer edge of it has, probably can't see it on the screen, but the outer edge of the wing has like a fringe. And usually where they're a little bit hairier is out on the edges of the wings. And in the SCM, you can kind of see that here. This long strands that are sticking out from the edge of the wing. This is the wing, the end of the wing here, and then you can see it's got like, fringe on a jacket, basically uh, hanging out from the edge of the wing. But if we go look at those, you'll actually see that these are structurally, they're just scales. They're the same as the scales that are on the wings. They have the same sort of ridge structure. Let's if I can get it into focus. It will be clearer. So they
So the
have
story
this.
behind these. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so yeah, so they have the same structure that we see, regardless of whether it's like these long, skinny things that look like hair, or whether the flaps that look like, the actual like scales, the way we think of scales. But they have the exact same, like, functionally the same structure.
So in chat, let's see. Show is that show cockerel? Always wondered how bugs were hairy when hair was like a mammal-esque trait. It looks like hair, but it's not actually hair. And then like birds have feathers that look like hair but aren't actually hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. Digital Seahorse says a furry butterfly, and Headshot Specialist says, but how come the butterfly scales reflect specific wavelengths if they have the same structure as hair that's on the rest of their body?
So most of well, there's a couple of different kinds of color associated with butterflies. One of them is structural color, where the like diatoms aren't colored, but in the light microscope they appear to be different colors, because the physical properties of it basically make it look like it's colored. And if you're really interested in structural color, that's Freckled Science is like doing her
Oh, okay.
PhD on that. So she talks about it quite frequently, and so I think that would be, like a better, resource for that if you follow Freckled Science. Um, let's see, but I'm gonna creep us up a little closer.
Nice. Yeah, she did one. She even did structural, what was it, the holographic chocolate. She's done all kinds of amazing things if you're interested in structural color and things that make color even though they aren't pigmented. Yeah, you've seen on Freckle Science Stream.
And then some of them actually just have different colors. So
Hmm.
the the actual scale itself has a different color. So, I mean, there's not it's not
And
necessarily related to the way that it appears structurally always.
pigmented color, right?
Yeah.
So I always love the idea that because there's some things that have a color that you could grind them up and they would stay the same color. You would end up with a powder, whatever color it was that it started out at. And then the difference is structural color. You grind it up and it's just kind of a pile of or something, but it's not whatever color it began as or you saw in it, like those bright blue butterflies with the structural colored wings or some of the feathers from hummingbirds. So for anyone who doesn't know where these came from, I was up in the Sierras at a cabin up there, and I had to move the wood pile from the bottom shelf in the like wood locker to the top shelf so it could get cleaned out and sealed and the floor of it maintained. So I spent a day and a half doing these like, wood shifting deep knee bends, trying to move all of the neatly, nicely chopped wood from one spot to another. It was one of those things where it's just like gravity, going against gravity, moving wood from the low spot to the upper spot. And then as I was doing that, I kept finding these amazing wings mixed in with the wood. And so uh, put them together and sent them off because they were just so beautiful. It's really surprising how many wings were mixed in with the wood.
All that potential energy.
I know, right? Now it's all on the top shelf and uh and I'm stronger for it. Wood wings. Oh, thank you for the cheer. That's what, 100 bits? Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. It's Crowfang and Claw. Thank you. Also, welcome in.
Yes.
We're looking right now at some wings of moth.
Scales.
The scales, yeah, of a moth.
A moth from the Sierra. Let's see. I had it up here. Go back. It's the Ceanothus silk moth was my guess on the identification of that little wing piece.
Yeah, and I also have, let's see, there was these little yellow colored moths that were you had sort of mixed in with them with like, triangle shaped wings.
Oh,
And
yes. Okay, the
that's
little
on the
yellow ones.
next one over. And then you had some really large brown ones, and I took a piece of one of those as well. So that's the next stub over and the next stub over after that.
Okay. So I think the large brown one.
Where
What
the
is
in the
this?
wood was just the wings,
They were just like wings in with the wood, like
just the wings though, no bodies.
just the wings, no bodies, or very few bodies.
Probably,
I mean, I did send you
probably
some
it
bodies.
was a praying mantis. Is my guess.
Mm,
I don't know if you've ever seen praying mantis eat a butterfly, but they pull the wings off. They don't
the
eat that
thing.
part.
Well, most things don't eat that part. I mean, for that matter, it
Ooh,
could be
something's going on
squirrels
here.
in the wood pile. Ooh, that was
It's
interesting. It like
distorted.
did a little, yeah.
It's charged up in here.
Well, and it's distorted. It's like a little,
I
huh.
stopped it.
Hey, British shrimp. That's right, the stone and Pacific. Here we are.
T-
Sand dollars and butterfly wings.
Together again on stream.
Boom. It's been a while.
It's true.
Now that I can be a day streamer. All right, let's see. Oh, I was going to look up. Let's see.
This filament's acting a little weird.
Hmm.
Is right.
How old is that element?
200 hours. So
200
it's,
hours?
you know, it could go at any moment, I guess.
Ha.
It could also last for another 100 or 200 hours, though.
True, true.
So we can really sort of see, I moved a little bit closer towards the middle of this stub. I thought maybe that would help. So we could see the structure of the actual scale a little bit better. It's these long ridges and then these little crossbars that come across, creating little, like, I don't know, windows, I guess, little tiny windows, which I think you can see pretty clearly here.
Yeah.
I'll try to take a picture and we'll see if it behaves.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Make it behave.
No
So I think,
promises.
no.
2 streams in a row with dangling visiting.
I know, right? Isn't that
Oh
lovely?
no, it looks like it got distorted again. It's charging up quite a bit, so
Huh.
it doesn't like this sample. I think it got disconnected from the tape, and so we'll just try one of the other feathers and see if it works any better.
So the little yellow one might be a dainty sulfur,
Oh, that's a butterfly.
I think. So it might be a dainty sulfur. There was maybe some green wings from an emerald moth.
That I didn't put in. There were some. There were some definitely some like bright green colored wings. Those ones didn't get put in.
Yeah. The silk moths always like, there's like so many different types of
Mm-hmm.
silk moths. Um, although it could be, I don't know. There's a lot here. There's a insect identification that has butterflies and moths of California. Pop that link into chat in case anybody wants to poke around and see what they can see. Have a guess of their own. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
No, it looks good.
Let's see if I can make it go the whole time without getting charged up, though.
We got that little
Defect.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's going okay, but you were messing up kids on Snake IO. Hopefully you weren't
What's
messing up.
Snake IO?
It's a video game on your phone
Oh, got it.
where you drive a snake around.
Oh.
Just the front end, and the back end you try to trap people.
Ah.
My daughter plays it sometimes, so you probably, you're messing up my daughter. You're
Ooh.
out there messing up my daughter.
Not a good idea. So addictive a couple years ago. Really, headshot specialist? Oh, everyone's waiting for the image. Well, that's how it always is, right? Waiting for it to draw.
Yeah, that's what we do. It's just the show here is this meditative part where we wait for the image to show up. Be patient. Slither
Patience.
IO. There's a lot of IO games out there.
What does the IO stand for?
I think it's just a company. They make
Hmm.
like stick figure games and I can ask
Did
Sylvia.
you see the, yeah, did you see the link I sent? I put in chat.
The Butterflies of
It
California
has,
one?
yeah, butterflies and moths in California.
Oh, it's a regional. Okay.
Yeah. So, oh, got Luna moths. I didn't know we had Luna moths. I dreamt about moths and butterflies last night.
Oh, really?
I did.
Let me see if I can find this yellow colored guy. Oh.
Hello, Sanders. This is fascinating. I'm glad you like it, headshot specialist. Let's see, you would spend hours to become the biggest snake on the map and eat other people's little snakes. Aw.
Hmm. It looks a little bit like it could be this Honcapsia moth. It's like a bright yellow color like that. I don't think it's a sulfur.
No?
I think it's a moth wing. I'm not sure which one, but that would be a guess. We have some of these other things from this site. I definitely have some of those. I definitely
Oh,
remember
the
seeing some of these.
yeah. The Hencapsia moth. If it
Yeah.
has that fringe, really long fringe on the edge of the wing, that would.
Yeah, it has a long fringe, but it's like a little, very little moth, so
Yeah.
hard to tell. Wait, was this woodpile in California?
It was in Nevada, but it was like right over the, I mean, it's like Lake Tahoe.
Oh,
So
right. Okay, yeah.
it's it's close enough. I don't think butterflies are like, whoa, hey, this is Nevada, we gotta stop.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think they go, yeah, no, there's gambling here. We're gonna head back the other way.
Hmm.
But I could be wrong.
You're saying that the animals don't recognize our geographic borders?
I think that is what I'm saying.
Preposterous.
I know, right? They don't see the line on the sand or
How,
on the ground.
if they don't have maps, how do they know how to go anyplace?
Oh, that's a good question. How do they know to get where they're going if they don't have a map?
Now, that was my question, though.
I know,
You're
right?
trying to
Well,
steal
it's
my
somebody out
question.
there. No, I'm thinking about your question. Maybe someone in chat has an answer. Call of the Wild. All right, the IO games are usually quite simple, but there are hundreds of people playing in the same level simultaneously, and you can jump into the game at any time. Interesting, Shadowfax. Hmm. They use an invisible compass. They have compasses in their heads and maps behind their eyes.
They've got heads-up displays.
It's really so much more advanced than what we have.
Why don't we get this stuff?
I know, right?
If we had
We're just
heads-up displays, we wouldn't have to ask for directions.
true, but asking for directions is part of the fun. You get to meet people that way.
Only if you like meeting people.
This is true. But how do you know you don't like meeting people unless you've met them?
Oh, you mean those particular people?
Mm-hmm. And they're always potential friends.
Or enemies?
It's the whole dark and light thing there again,
Do
right?
you think, well, now we're moving into a realm. I would say, like, for the last couple of years, it's been challenging to meet people just because COVID, right?
Yes.
But now we're moving into this realm where I don't want to say we're past COVID, but it seems like it's definitely disappearing from, you know, people's mind, at least. Whether it's actually
True.
disappearing is a different question.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
here, starting next week, we're mask optional at the university, and we've been wearing masks. Like basically, students have been wearing masks since 2020. Like there has not been a time where they were allowed to just roam around in the hallways without a mask on. Since
Masked and safe since 2020.
yes, um, but they're moving to like mask optional, which means students aren't going to wear them, right? Because nobody wants to wear a mask. Um, so that's sort of like a weird transition. Or,
Mm-hmm.
or are we coming out of it? Do you think, or do you think we're just imagining that we're coming out of it?
I think there's definitely like the people are just getting tired of it. I do I do hope that going forward when people are sick or think they might be getting sick or have been around someone who's sick, they will take it upon themselves to put masks on and keep me from getting sick and other people.
That's crazy
I just
talk.
think that would be I it's kind of crazy talk, but I think I'd like to hope that we've kind of learned a lesson about how viruses are transmitted and that people will step up their behavior and be good.
Let's see.
Don't you
Hello
think?
Cinder says they still wear a mask full time around anyone they don't live with. I mean, that's
Oh
how
yeah.
I've been for a long time now. Like, if I don't
Yeah.
actually like, if it's not my immediate family or, well, all of my, if I don't know that they've been completely vaccinated, right? And, uh, and I don't have any whatever background for the person, I probably would wear a mask around them. Strangers, basically, not just like
Hmm.
just students that I'm like. So my plan right now is to like wear it around in the hallways, but probably take it off when I lecture because they can't hear me very well, right? And then it's a challenge to talk through it, and I'm not sick, so um, so I feel like the mask is mostly for helping them, and I probably, if I was sick, I just wouldn't. I would wear the mask the whole time, right? 'Cause that's the
Yeah.
objective.
Right?
Or I
Right?
wouldn't come to
Isn't it?
work. Um,
Well, that too.
just throwing that out there.
It's
Maybe
always an
stay home if
option.
I'm sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind the masks
Yeah.
either. I usually forget I'm wearing it, except for when I walk around in Indiana here and I'm out where people are. Everybody's stopped wearing it basically. Um, so there's no, everybody kind of gives me that look like I don't know, signal virtuing or something. But I'm actually just trying to be careful, and it doesn't bother me to wear it. Uh, you know, I don't
Yeah.
I don't mind looking like a ninja. Uh, you know,
And and when it's cold out, it's actually not comfy to have your face covered.
yeah,
It's kind of cozy little mask on when it's chilly outside.
yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm more than 5 or 6 feet away. I'm at the front of the room, and the students are, you know, ten
They
feet ten
they all
feet
sit at the
away.
back of the class.
Well, the classrooms are bigger than, you know, 5 or 6 feet. So, uh,
Yeah.
generally speaking, I'm not close to them anyway. And then, you know, it's mostly me who would be spreading it to them because they don't ask questions or talk. So, you know, they're not creating problems for me. They don't open their mouths. Let's see. This is a second set of scales. I just clicked some images. We've mostly got just a little defect at the bottom of it, but I'll just crop it off and no one will even know.
Yeah, exactly.
This is,
Crop it.
you just crop that. All right, let's spin around to the last of the butterfly images. It's almost 5 o'clock.
Wow.
And there's one more set of butterfly scales here. These ones are from this long, skinny, dark brown wings that you sent. Did you know which one that one is?
Let's see. Long, skinny, dark
They're
brown.
really long, like elongated. Let me see if I can find them.
The dagger moth? No.
Let's see. The wings look like this. This is a whole wing. I don't know if you can see into the.
See if I can zoom in.
Hold it a little closer. So they're like brown, just like a dull gray
Yeah.
brown, and very elongated.
Very elongated. So I want to say it's like a dagger moth. Hold on.
And
Let's go back to
they've got a
that.
little bit of white or silver sort of around the outside edge of it. So,
Let's see. There's copper underwing. I'm like looking through the pictures and trying to remember what I spent some time. Not an armyworm. Not a forage looper. Yeah, there were the dagger moths, but it doesn't look like a dagger moth. Oh, let's see. No, no,
let me see if I can find it.
no, right? Just like scrolling here. There are so many of these moths, butterflies. They're pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think the wing shape is right for the underwing or the oak moths. It's not. Those are like the triangle shaped wings. These have very elongated wings. Strangely elongated.
Yeah.
Like this. Oh, except for they have like a silvery fringe around the outside edge of
Right? Right? Well, maybe it's not pictured here.
them. Always possible. I'll take some pictures later, and maybe we'll show them to uh, somebody who knows something about moths. Uh, Gorgana has a moth person,
Oh, yeah.
moths per hour, but comes to her. I think she's a moderator there. So I'll take
Oh,
some
how
pictures and
cool.
see what she says.
Nice.
I think this is a good image, though. I think this will be a nice one.
It will be. Such an interesting variation. So these are much more even scales. The other ones were the interlaced with the long and thin and the much more toothy scales.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting colder than breaded shrimp. 59 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Chilly, huh?
It was a
Although
little
59 is not
chilly. I didn't wear my coat today. I just wore a cardigan.
bad. You
And
didn't wear your coat.
yeah, it's, I don't
Getting
know,
warm in
it's like maybe
Indiana.
45 or something here. It was warm
But
enough that I didn't need to wear my coat. But then when I went for, oh, it's 38. But then when I went to go get lunch, I was kind of cold. But
mm,
I just walked really fast. Resembled a whirly maple seed. A little bit.
yeah,
The shape of it
yeah,
does,
they
yeah.
have that totally.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So there's like striping on the, or is that just a,
Um, Most of the stripes that you see are actually the beam intensity or the accelerating voltage is a little high. And so you're
oh,
actually seeing the um, scale that's underneath it. And I
wow.
think you're just seeing the striping basically as the scale that's underneath it. We're seeing through them a little bit. Um,
Oh,
so, like, uh, let's see. Up here, that stripe I think is an overlap between the one that's below and the one that's above. And there is some sort of rough, like, uh, striping that might be real striping on there. Like
like
there
ridges.
ridges, yeah. Um, but a lot of the contrast striping, I think, is probably related to either that, either there's like a ridge on there, like they actually have some three-dimensional shape to them. So you know, or it's either that or you're seeing through them a little bit, and then you're seeing the scale underneath them, kind of creating a dark line. It's
Got
my
it.
guess. It's my guess.
It's a good guess. I like that guess.
This is a long brown wing. I don't know what else to call it. But it's not charging like the other one was. So why don't we zoom
No.
in? We'll get
Mm,
one real close-up view where you can see the structure
yeah.
of the wing a little bit better. Hopefully.
It's actually the structure between the, like on the scale, between the light stripes on the scale, there's these like little tiny struts or
Well, like this one is actually from the underlying.
yeah, that. But if you look like between the two thin ribs,
Mm-hmm.
right? There are perpendicular ribs between the ribs.
Oh, these little things?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's like cross structure, definitely like a tabulate cross structure that comes across
Yeah.
everything here. I thought you were talking about the light and dark bands again. So,
Oh, yeah, no. I see how you were talking about how that light band coming through is actually the scale below. You can see it, you can follow the line
yeah,
of the
here.
scale. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I think some of it is actually that they're folded a bit, and you're seeing a little bit of the
Mm-hmm.
folding,
Okay.
because these things are um, like there's a line that runs through the middle of those, and a line that runs sort of along the length of this one, where the ends of the crenulated ends, basically, where they join, seems like there's a color stripe or a contrast stripe. Okay.
Brendan CSW wants to know, when did you get to sleep last night? Looked like you were streaming late.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed around 3:30 in the morning, maybe.
Oh, so an
I
early night.
uh, well, I just did some really mellow uh, watching the storm with the stream, just hanging out, and then I did a little bit of reading. So I like to read myself to sleep. So
What were you reading right now?
I'm trying to think of the name of that book series. Uh, it's completely lost to me at the moment. Both the author and the book series.
That's all right. I'll catch you later. Always looking for books.
I'll look it up. It's a trilogy that I had been reading before, and I can't remember the author. I just saw it and I was like, oh, they made a fourth book. It's a trilogy and then like a bonus book. So I just grabbed it from the library app and downloaded it.
Nice.
So
And you finished the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
I did, and as I
Yeah.
was almost finished with it, my wife Carlin said, "I see you're reading this book," and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, it's on a list of like books I saw where people were talking about like if you're interested in, you know, recent books that were popular or something." And I was like, "Oh, it's a popular
Yeah.
book? I had no idea." So then she asked me how I liked it, and I said, "Oh, I like it." And she's like, "It sounds like it's just like a Groundhog Day kind of a story." And I was like,
Yeah.
It's not really like Groundhog Day, but I could see why people would make that comparison. And then
Yeah.
I think if somebody would have told me that before I started it, it might have spoiled the concept of it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I just kind of like the surprise as I was reading it of what was happening, because I was like, what's going on? This is weird. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's still not very Groundhog Day like, but I think if somebody had revealed a little bit of the plot to me, I'd have been less excited when I read it and actually sort of came through it. So I'm not going to tell people what happens. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like that story, and I like the way that they built it. So it's pretty good, pretty good book.
Yeah. I enjoyed the surprises along the way because I had no clue.
Yeah,
I just liked, yeah, without spoiling it.
right.
And they also wrote, I think the author also wrote something, The Devil in the Dark Water, which I don't know if they wrote before or after. Um, different. It's like they're trying to be, not trying to be clever, but they're trying to manipulate how the story unfolds. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it, but
Everything's without spoiling it.
I know it's hard. It's hard. No spoilers. Good books. Don't want spoilers on books. I'm still slowly reading through John Dice at the end, which like the title is the spoiler. So
Well, that one sounds like it's already been spoiled.
I know, right? It's more about the journey on this particular book.
Okay.
But it's fun. It's one of those things you were talking about reading yourself to sleep when you go to I'll often only get a couple of pages in. So sometimes it takes a really long time
It
to
did.
get through certain books.
I need to like calm my brain down at night, and reading helps me do that. And I read somebody was talking the other day. We were talking about this like sleep science stuff, where they say, "Oh, don't read a book before you go to bed." And I was like, "This is how I sleep every night." And if I don't read something, usually I can't sleep. I mean, I have to like, you know, do something to kind of like wind my brain down sometimes. So
Yeah.
it was surprising for me to hear that they recommend that you don't read. I was like, that's weird.
Wow.
It's how I
Yeah.
it's how I shut down, you know. So, all right. I think I'm just gonna take one last picture here, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna do it at super high resolution though, so it's a little bit of a slower picture.
Okay.
And then so that's like 10 minutes. And I don't know, do you want me
Yeah.
to try to put this other one in?
Do you have time to put the other one in? I mean, the other one's got like the chunky spines on it, right?
Yeah, we could put it in there. It'll
I
only
kind
take
of
a
worry.
couple of minutes after this one.
Okay.
So I'll try to wrap things up at like 5:30.
Okay. If it doesn't work, that's all right. We can always save it for another stream, right?
Well, you know, it's not going anywhere. I haven't been getting any messages from my wife telling me there's an emergency. I need to come home and eat dinner. So I think we'll be okay.
All right. Digital Seahorse says the ritual of bedtime is helpful. And Broken Symmetry, rain sounds were lovely last night on the stream. Yeah.
Oh,
Wabu the Panda, indeed.
it's been a long time since I was able to do a storm stream. We had a couple of storms that passed through. Uh, maybe 2 weeks ago, but
Mhm.
the lightning and the sort of the really hard rain and lightning part that I was trying to capture came and went. Like I was watching a stream, and then it started to lightning, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should get stuff set up. And then like I started to set up my camera, and then it was done. By the time I even started,
Oh,
it was already over. So it's like,
yeah.
well, and the other one was that way too. It was just they came and went really fast. And the one last night was this really long sort of storm for a little while. There was lightning for a little while, and then just even having the rain sounds was nice. But
It
normally
was.
when I set up my streams for like rain and lightning, I'm on my front porch. So I have to run a wire. I guess I don't have to, but I prefer to have cable. So I run the Ethernet cable out to the front porch, and um, set up everything out there. And then I've got to find some place to sit, and like I can actually relax, sit at a table on my front porch. But my laptop is usually just like it's ill-equipped to handle the output coming out of my camera, and so it's usually struggling very hard, and um, and so I type on my phone basically to try to keep from having to type into the chat, because when I hit like letters, it takes 2 or 3 seconds for a letter to show up after I type it,
Wow.
because it's just chugging along from the 4K coming out of my camera into
Yeah.
OBS, and then so I usually do it that way, and then I thought, oh, I can just plug in everything to my big desktop and point it out the back window. So this is the first stream where I did things sort of back of the house instead of front of the house. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter, except for the view is totally different, obviously, and then I can just sit in my office and chill instead of sitting on the porch where it's cold.
go.
The details, when we switched to speed 8 from speed 7, which is what's the difference between this picture, why it's taken so much longer. But I think you can see the difference in the detail quite a bit,
It is amazing.
especially like out here on the end of the wing, or end of the scale, right here. See all the detail of the structure of the scale, and then it's a it has a higher resolution as well. So I don't want to take up the whole stream with like super long images like this, but occasionally when something looks really cool, I'll slow it down and take a nice slow picture.
Sometimes you just gotta slow it down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I had a stream on Saturday as well. So this is 3 days in a row I've streamed. Probably won't stream tomorrow, but I might try to stream on Wednesday in my normal stream time.
Get a day off.
Well, then I might take the rest of the week off as well. I'll see. But tomorrow I've got the proposal stuff I have to work on in the meeting, and so I'm probably going to be focused on trying to get that done. And then I want to try to get some more preparation for my classes. So if I can get maybe 1 or 2 lectures ahead instead of my classes, it'll make the rest of the semester a lot easier for me going forward. So,
working ahead on the structural geography?
Geology, yeah.
Okay. Geology.
Yeah. Structural geology is sort of the extra class I'm teaching this semester. It's a lot of work because I haven't, I took a structural geology class. I've never taught it before. I took one 30 years ago, so there's a little bit of updating from my old notes and concepts. And then it's also not a class that I really enjoyed taking. I mean, I thought it was fun when I took it, but I didn't really want to do structural geology for a living. So it's a lot of stuff that, it's...
Paleontologizing, what?
What? What about paleontologizing? Oh, paleontologizing's here.
Yes, and subscribed.
Oh, very nice. How's it going,
Wow.
Danny? Paleo. That's the...
Yeah, hello, Sanders. He is awesome. Howdy.
We're looking at
We're both here.
some butterfly scales up close. These are either moth or butterfly, I'm not sure which. People get all wrapped up in like, why is it called a moth or a butterfly? But it's really just like its antenna and a little bit of how hairy it is and whether it's a day thing or a night thing. But there are some moths that are really they're really just like hairy butterflies. They're more like daytime organisms, and they have most of the characteristics of butterflies, and then their antennae are fuzzy. So it's not as simple as people like to make it out to be, whether it's a moth or a butterfly. It's also like whether the cocoon is fuzzy or silky, right?
Oh, or whether it's a chrysalis or a cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because butterflies don't do cocoons. They only do chrysalis.
Right. But I mean, that's just like how fuzzy is the material, right?
Yeah. You got to wait for them to go through the change.
Well, you have a moth on the way. What does that mean, Anna? Hey, Tagish. Yeah, it's pretty complicated, and the separation. Then people are always like, is it a moth or a butterfly? And then I'm like, but what about skippers? Because people just totally forget that skippers exist for some reason. But there's a whole nother category that people keep forgetting to mention when they talk about moth or butterfly, which is there are things that are kind of neither, that are called skippers.
Folded wing creatures.
Yeah, the pyramid wing butterflies, basically.
Yeah.
They look like butterflies, but they have wings that we don't talk about skippers. Exactly.
We just don't talk about them now.
Oh, it's sitting in a jar. Oh, you have the cocoon in a jar, like the chrysalis in a jar. I guess it's a cocoon.
Ooh.
Very cool. Yeah, my daughter always wants to grow and release the butterflies, and we got some in the mail. I think it was monarchs or something uh, that we kept in the house, and then watched them grow.
We used to collect the eggs from so locally we have fennel that grows as a weed, and people would always be hacking back the fennel on the side of the road. And so if you knew when the crews were going to go through and hack back the fennel, you could go in front and pick the little ends of the fennel where the what is it, anise swallowtail would lay their eggs, and then you wait till they emerge, and then they eat the fennel, and they'll do their whole life cycle for you. But that was because it was a weed, and they would just get like hacked down and thrown away, composted. So we were rescuing the butterflies.
So at this distance, you can kind of see I mentioned this before, but there's sort of these chunkier scales that are wider, sort of platier structure, and then the fringe is just basically the same scale structure. They've just elongated, right? So it's like somebody stretched it, and then it looks like fur or fuzz. And the same thing is true with the legs and the long hairs, or anything that looks like a hair on a moth or a butterfly is just the scale. It's really literally just like a reshaped version of one of these. All right, let's I'm going to quickly try to switch out what's in the SEM. Something we
Oh,
almost never do on stream. I'm going to send this home, turn off the beam for a second. We'll vent, and then we'll pump down with the other little piece of the sea urchin, not sea urchin, sand dollar, on by itself, hanging out in the middle. And the only thing I can say is if it's still like not quite dry, or this has like a little moisture inside of it, it might not pump down. In which case
yeah, yeah,
we'll just stop there. So,
yeah.
all right, let's see. I'm going to vent, so you'll hear the.
Will we?
Yeah, you should through my microphone. Hear it hissing? It's put.
I actually don't.
Oh, well,
Maybe it's just my head.
it's pumping nitrogen out of a tank into the chamber because the chamber is entirely, vacuum pressure, and we need to get it to room pressure because I'm only a human being and I need to be able to open it, and that requires it to be equal pressure or close, and then once it's done pumping nitrogen gas in there, I'm going to release the nitrogen gas into the room by opening the chamber, but most of the gas in the room is already nitrogen. Again, we don't usually talk about it, but it's about 80% of what's around you at all time.
We don't usually talk about that. It's nitrogen. We just don't talk about nitrogen.
Nobody cares about nitrogen because it's not something that we interact with at all. And most organisms can't use nitrogen in the form of a gas, so nobody cares about it. It's completely inert unless
Nitrogen.
it's completely inert unless you know how to fixate nitrogen, in which case you can turn it into ammonium through a really complicated process. Or if you're a human being and you've learned to mimic that complicated process through the Haber-Bosch process.
Or your lightning.
Or true. Most things aren't lightning,
No, but
lightning
some
will
things are.
also fixate nitrogen briefly and make it
Yes.
available for other organisms to access. Once it's out of that sort of gaseous state, nitrogen becomes highly important to things, but normally it's in a gas state, so nobody cares about it. All right, pump's back on.
Woohoo.
It's louder than usual for a little while as the main pump tries to get most of the air out of the chamber. And then, well, hopefully this stinky sand dollar that we're jamming in here will not be too challenging for it to pump down completely.
Thank you,
So,
Sand Dollar. So I realized why I'm not hearing your background noise because I have background noise here where I am too. There are two giant freezers in here that are like negative 83 degrees centigrade. They're like
Oh,
noisy. Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Studio Cormix, and then also Boba Binks is here.
I did a
Oxygen
little
gets all
shout
the
out.
credit.
Oh, it does.
Oh, you gave a shout out to Boba?
I did, but we can do another one. Do it. Do you have a button for
I didn't.
boba?
You didn't say anything, so I didn't. I
I
didn't.
didn't want to interrupt. You were talking.
I'm blabbing, is what you mean.
No, you're explaining your process. This just in, echinoderms stink, right?
Oh,
Paleontologizing, only dead ones.
oh, this one
The
smells.
newly dead.
It didn't smell bad until I opened up the little vial that came along, and then vial was the right name for the smell that came out of it. So
Oh,
I was like, oh, this isn't so bad, and then I was like, nope, this is bad.
this
Uh,
is
it's pumping down
smoke.
pretty quickly though, so I think it's gonna manage it.
Uh,
It's about there.
ooh, ooh. It'll be nice if we can see the spines, more spines.
Yeah, so this will be the underside of the sand dollar it's definitely gonna make it. Um, it's just powering through it now, so
Maybe.
I'm
Very
convinced.
cool.
There it goes.
It'll do it.
We got green bars, so we can turn the high voltage back on, and then I can make the inside of my SEM chamber smell really bad by firing electrons down onto the stinky
at that.
mass.
Oh, how cool.
All right, so we need to, let's see, first thing I need to do is fix the height because everything's at the wrong height right now. And it can't focus very easily when the height's widely wrong. And that's because
Oh,
the
sorry.
what
I'm
was
gonna
in
say
there,
goodbye to paleontologizing. Going. Bye, paleontologizing. Thanks for hanging out.
what was on there was this pedestal, this carousel, and we had these sort of, things on it. And now we don't have the pedestal, we just have the sample by itself stuck right on in the place where the carousel was going. So we can see all of the little spiny structures that are on here. So this is just a chunk of the underside of the sand dollar. Okay.
Yes. See where they're all lined up next to each other? Ooh. Oh,
Yeah,
look
like
at them.
this?
Oh,
Is this what you wanted?
they're so cool.
Well,
And you can see they're hollow. Look, look, look. The one that's broken. There's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a little tree trunk that's hollow at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm gonna normalize the brightness and
Okay.
contrast, and then we're still super, super far away from this. I don't know if you want me to zoom in really closely on anything, but for this sort of picture, this is fine.
Yes.
So I'll just take this one, and
Take it while you've got it.
then we'll do one zoom in where we can look at the hollow part if you'd like.
Oh, yes, please.
Looks like it's gonna work. We'll just click. Should be good.
Oh.
Paleontologist is probably getting his stream together. I think
Oh.
he streams every day during the week usually.
Yes.
So it does look a little
I
bit like
feel.
corn on the cob, like little tiny baby
Mhm.
corn. If you're not following paleontologizing, by the way, you should. It does a great job talking about not just dinosaurs, but just natural sciences in general on Twitch,
Mhm.
and super generous with his time answering people, and great interactions with the viewers. And oh, it's got like a little. Did it make a
It
defect?
does. It did.
Oh, you
What's
stupid
up with
thing.
that?
I'm gonna fix it. It's just charging a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can fix it.
Oh.
We'll see if this does
Like a
anything.
like a little petrified forest.
See see if it helps to get a little closer. Sometimes when
Mm.
it's got a lot of really high topography like that, it creates like horizontal lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll also watch it this time instead of just blabbing. Sometimes if I watch it, it behaves, you know?
It does. Like the uncertainty. You're observing it, you're changing it.
Yeah, definitely. Our collective observation of it is causing it to behave now. Or I zoomed in and got rid of the part that was causing the defect, or one or the other.
Okay, Radio Joe says, is it like when someone microwaves fish, now the SCM will be all smelly?
I hope not. Uh, most of the electrons probably don't smell, and that's mostly what gets discharged into the chamber. My guess is if I vent it a few times and pull in some nitrogen gas from the tank and stuff it into the chamber, it will fix that problem.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a vacuum, then there is no smell, right?
Yeah, it should get pulled out when we vacuum the chamber out.
But there's no smell in a vacuum.
Shouldn't be, because the particles are gone.
Exactly.
Yeah. They could, you could see how much it's charging right there.
Yeah, yeah. Ones that are lifted up.
That's okay. And it didn't cause any defects, and now it just looks dramatic.
It does. Because it is dramatic.
It looks like somebody put the dramatic Instagram filter on it.
It's a noir echinoderm.
Yes. They do look a little bit like corn on the cob, though. I think that's an astute observation. They have little, like along the length of them, they have little knobby kernel-like structures. I think that's
Like nodules almost.
something. Ridges. Makes them grippable, probably, or grip-beingable.
Yeah. So they embed themselves in the sand. There's sandbars along the Ocean Beach area here in San Francisco. And if you you know about the currents and you understand riptides, you can actually walk out quite a long ways on these sandy areas. I mean, it goes out. People walk out really, really far, especially at low tide. And they're still standing, right? They're not swimming. And then they'll go off and do their surfing. Oh yeah, let's see if we can get that one with the little cross section. But they bury themselves kind of, because a sand dollar is like a flat round cookie, and they bury themselves so they're standing up on little angles in the sand.
In angles?
And angles. So they're not straight up and down, and they're not flat like a cookie. They kind of like wedge themselves at an angle.
On purpose?
On purpose. And when they're really tiny, as they're recruiting out into the sand from the water, from being a drifter and a plankton, which is how they start their life. Once they start trying to wedge themselves in and hold on to sand, they'll incorporate the magnetite into their skeleton in some areas. So I was
Really?
going to try. Yeah, they did scans of sand dollar skeletons, and there was metal deposits in the skeleton. Let's see, I think it was Deep Look that did it. Here we go.
Are you posting a link?
I'm going to.
Okay.
I am definitely going to after the commercial, of course.
Commercial?
Yeah, well, there we go. Ah, it's noisy in my ear. Sorry about that. You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
Nice. Share. Here we go. If you want to learn more about sand dollars, it's a nice short video. It's only about 4 or 5 minutes long, and it's actually about our local ones. So this is literally the ones we were looking at.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's a YouTube link.
It is. It is. And at, okay, I'm going to go, let's see, I can send, let's see, share, start at. So in this here link will take you directly to the bit where they show about those scans that I was talking about with the magnetite incorporated into their little skeletons, which is kind of cool. I don't know, Digital Seahorse. True facts. I don't know if they've done one about sand dollars. So I like Deep Look. They're a local like KQED channel, and they think they do really great stuff. So there's a little bit of an artifact on that one.
I can get rid of that.
I figured.
Yeah, that I can fix in Photoshop if I just contrast select. So that one I can fix. It's when it actually distorts it, like, you know,
Yeah.
distorts the actual image by shifting it. Those I can't fix. Or I mean, I could fix them, but they would look terrible when I was done anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Do we have time for one last picture?
Sure.
When this one's done, there was an area towards the edge that had, they were like all lined up instead of as much, like they were less tumbled about.
Oh. Less tumbled about.
I think. Well, you were just moving around quickly at the beginning, so it was towards the bottom left, maybe down there. See there where they're kind of
like a forest. Or you mean down
like
here at the... You want something like this?
Well, both on the left where they're like lined up, and then where you're like looking down on them. I don't know. Looking down on them might be hard because it might be charged on the tips, but that
something over
goes
here.
there. Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Like this.
Like that. Look at that.
I'll see if I can do it. Seems likely.
Mm.
You know what the best part about all this is?
No, what's the best part?
There's a cherry pie waiting for me when the stream is over.
See, you've got cherry pie. I have an apple. It's an ambrosia apple.
Probably by itself is okay, but not quite a cherry pie.
It's definitely not a cherry pie. You win. You win the post-stream snack award.
I didn't even know I was
Cargo
competing.
Cult. Well, apparently. Cargo Cult says hi.
Hello.
In the sad times. And Disillusioned wants to know if you brought enough pie for the rest of the class.
No, that's why I'm not eating it in front of you.
Because then we'd have to listen to chewing sounds.
Also that, but I don't think I could fit. I don't know how many people are here now. I wasn't paying attention, but 30. Let's see. That's maybe. That's like 5 pies, I think, for 30 people.
That's a lot of pie. That's a lot of pie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Digital Seahorse, you have coconut cream pie in the freezer? Ah. Time to take the pie out.
Right.
And Boba Banks has Girl Scout cookies. What kind of Girl Scout cookies? That's the question, Boba
I got
Banks.
Girl Scout cookies at home. I've got a
You
Girl
do.
Scout troop leader as a wife. So
Oh, yeah.
I have all the cookie types.
All of them? You have all of them too, Boba Banks.
Boba's also secretly a Girl Scout troop leader.
Ah, now we understand.
Just for
Well,
the
I made
cookies.
alfajores the other night. That was an adventure. Midnight cookies.
How'd they turn out?
You know, they tasted really good, but I don't have the consistency of the dulce de leche quite right yet. So,
You have to just keep
um,
trying till you get it.
I know, I know. I think I need to cook the dulce de leche longer so that it gets a little darker and a little thicker, and then I think it'll be um, less drippy, sticky inside the cookie. I mean, it tasted really good. It just presentation wasn't right. But now
Wasn't up
we've
to your
got lots of
expectation levels.
no, no, no. I had a vision and it just, I mean, it was good. It looked okay, right? But I couldn't, yeah. You had to eat them right away.
Sounds okay.
Yeah,
I mean, looks aren't everything.
true. They're just going to get chewed up and eaten anyway, right?
Exactly. Alright, let me see if I can fix the focus, and then I'll see if I can fix the
Mm.
brightness issue.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be just too tall.
Well, there is an effect from the SEM where things that are spine-shaped are basically always going to charge a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and
I,
there's not a whole lot I
yeah.
can do about that. But
I- There's a section down to the right, maybe a little, that might be a little less.
down here,
Yeah.
they're laying
I don't
on
know.
their
I was just
side
thinking.
mostly, though.
Oh, they are, yeah.
It's okay. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. We'll just do something like this, and then
Well, auto brightness and contrast that little box, so it's.
well, it should try to fix the whole field of view.
Oh, it did.
We'll
That's
see.
better.
It should do even better. It's not really done yet. It's just
No, but it's getting there. So who are you going to raid when this is done?
who's on?
Who's on? That's a good question. Let's
Who
see.
might we raid?
Let's see. Science.
Probably a good choice.
Yeah. Artyom Hop. Let's see.
This looks like it'll be okay.
Yeah, those are most of my people that I follow that are streaming that I know of. Wait, did
Paleontologizing start yet?
no, I don't see paleontologizing yet.
All right, let me check. Let me see what I got. Where could we go?
Spike, yeah, you're welcome. Glad you liked it.
Let's go into science. So I have these, right now I have in my pocket.
What's
I,
in your pocket?
I have, hang on a second, I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
I want to get the raid started. This set of slides that I'm going to send to Science Streams. He asked me for some diatom slides. And in this set of slides is some samples from Pacific plankton as well.
Oh!
One of your diatom samples from early on. We have a lot of material still.
We do.
So I made a slide from stuff that we've streamed, Beauty Lake and whatever, San Francisco Bay, some Lake Malawi stuff, like a whole long list of different sites, and then I just 5 slides that I made for him. And he's sending me some ants, and I'm sending him some diatoms, and we're doing a science exchange.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love the science exchanges. I think it's brilliant.
All right. So I want to say thanks to Paleontologizing for this subscription, and for Crowl, Fang, and Claw for a cheer. And then, other than that, thanks to Pacific Plankton for hanging out with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. It's so much fun.
All right, off we go.
Let's raid.